Speaking of Alliance tournament tasks, while I'm waiting for this one, because we are working on a task to kill armadas, I did want to take a minute and just kind of go through for the lower level players out there. This is on an Ops 31 account. Um, a lot of the tasks players feel like they're just not capable of doing. They see all these videos and it's like, here's how you can do all these 10K tasks for free and whatnot. But they're like, yeah, I'm Ops 30, I'm 32, I'm 35. I can't do any of these 10K tasks. This is ridiculous. I can't do a lot of these tasks. This event must not be for me, and therefore I should just skip it. And you definitely do not want to skip this um, because you want as much of the currency you can get as possible. Because even as low level, there are still plenty of things worth buying in here. Whether it's officer sourcing, whether it's getting a head start on a ship you're going to get at 40, like the Vindicator. If you happen to be lucky enough to get into the higher leagues, you can start getting some techs. And again, more officers. You can upgrade your war room. Now you've got depot tokens in here. This is the holiday bonus thing. I don't know if this is sticking around permanently. I think this was just more of a people didn't get a good enough chance to do this last month, and they because of some bugs and glitches, so they brought it back for January as well. But you've got all kinds of Armada directives, and again, more techs and artifacts, even a couple of skins and some primes. So there's a lot of good stuff in here. You can see I can't build Voyager yet, but I already have all the blueprints for it. I don't have to go through that whole grind of the Hirogen of killing the hostiles to get the skulls to then do the daily turn-ins. I already have all the blueprints for Voyager, which I can build at 35, I think it is. 34, 35, somewhere in that range. We can check in a minute. I'm halfway to an Eviscerator. I'm halfway to a Vindicator. Like, I'm going to have these ships ready to go long before I can build them at Ops 40. So there's definitely some value to participating in the tournament early and getting some of the access to some of this content and having yourself mentally prepared for it. Let's do that double check on Voyager. Just because I forget offhand, because it's been a few years since I've had to build a Voyager. Yep, we died again. That's okay. I'm going to stubbornly do it again. I'm not going to waste time doing it again. It's fine. Nobody wants to help anymore. That's fine. We'll go back to Cardassia and we'll just do a quick level 30 and just get it done. With that one, we should have no problem killing. Before I go back to tasks, I should answer the question that I was in the middle of answering, which is, what level can I build Voyager? Ships. Hope the depot tokens stay. I do too, but I don't think they're gonna. I think they're more of like a seasonal item. Currently building my amalgam, because like you said, I'm 31 now. I've been sourcing this. Voyager is an explorer. That is buildable at shipyard level 34. So when I get to 34, if I don't have the blueprints ready to build, an Epic, an Enterprise, or something like that, well, at least I know I have at least a Voyager to give me some additional benefit. Now, Voyager's not as good as one of those other ships, but it does have much better warp range, so that's kind of giving it an added bonus. But it's not the kind of ship you'd want to lean on, but it certainly could get you through the 30s. There's enough power creep in the game with officers and things like that that Voyager can get you through your 30s. It's not going to help you with special events. It's not going to help you so much with armadas and things like that, or solo armadas. But for just regular doing your dailies and things like that, yeah, Voyager might be good enough to get it done. Wish they'd add amalgam blueprints in the away team store. Oh, I'm sorry, the Alliance tournament store. That would be nice. Amalgam blueprints, obviously you can source them through Cosmic Cleanup. I've long been arguing for a while now that the amount needs to change. Instead of, I think it's 8 that you get from that. So therefore, it takes you like 12 weeks to claim the ship. That's just too long for how this game progresses. All of the ones in Cosmic Cleanup on Saturdays, they need to increase the amounts. They need to double the amounts. I think they should go from 10 to 25, and I think that the amalgam should go from 8 to, well, let's call it 15. So you can do it in 7 weeks. And then occasionally in your event stores and things like that. Yeah, it's 8 that you can get per week with the amalgam. Now, if you do it right, if you have the currency and you have any stockpiled, you can claim it twice. So you can claim it, right when the event first starts, and it's got a 22-hour cooldown, so you can claim it again before the event goes away on the next day. But then also sometimes in here with our Ferengi stores, you also do have the option to spend some of your currency in these stores, and these are bundles of 5. So you can, if you get 20 from here, and that gets you to, and then you only need 80, so then it's only 10 pulls from there, which maybe you could do in 5 to 10 weeks, depending on if you have any things saved. That certainly cuts down on the time a little bit, and there's a workaround for that. But I don't feel like players should have to necessarily do that anymore with where the game has evolved to. I feel like we just need to just be increasing the path and the acceleration, the same way they did for the Devore, right? You used to have to claim 30-day chests to get your Devore. We're getting 10 per week was the only way to get it, or maybe in an event store. And then they basically created an event. When you turn 20 Ops 23, your Mining Monday event now also gives you 25 blueprints for a Devore. There's an event that runs alongside it. And it runs until you get 100 blueprints, and then you can go build a Devore at 23. So 4 weeks, bam, you got the ship. I'm getting the epic Devore in 4 weeks, but the other ships that are rares, I have to take 10 to 12 to get. Like, come on, we can do better. We can do better. Ultra, get some sleep. Thank you for popping in. Yeah, they could definitely do better with sourcing for some of this stuff. But we were talking about tasks. Hey, Bearbutt, thank you for the resubscription. 28 months now. Almost 2.5 years. Definitely appreciate that. And obviously there are some low-level tasks. Of course, some of the 750s and, like a lot of the formation armadas. If your alliance is doing them, you can pick up a task and jump in. But some of these aren't not the easiest to do. Like, I can't defeat a rare Dominion solo armada because you have to be 35 plus to even start that. So that's no good. Jula, thank you for the subscription with Prime as well. Appreciate that. Again, wave defense, also something very hard to do, and this one happens to be mirror waves. So some of these 750 point tasks are just not completable by low-level players, which you would think they would be, because they're only 750 points. But most of them are not things that players can do. Someone in their 20s and mid, anything up below 38 can't spend export credits because you can't start that whole mechanic until Ops 38. Sometimes spending uncommon skill points, maybe if you have a whole bunch saved up, you can manage to get that one. But a lot of this stuff just is not possible. There are some ones that are. The ones I've typically been doing are some of the ones that revolve killing stuff, like the Q Continuum one. This one I can't do because it requires killing stuff that's 40 plus. But if I re-rolled this task a couple times, or this wave defense task, and re-rolled that one, I might get ones to go kill Gorin, can't do, Zindi can't do, but sometimes you get ones to kill swarms, sometimes you get ones to kill Borg probes. Those are a lot easier for lower level players to accomplish. Occasionally you'll get ones to kill Federation Klingon or Romulan hostile, and those can be worth as much as 5,000 points. And those are some good ones to get. They are a little rarer in the rotation, but if you can get them done, awesome. I just happen to manage to complete this one now by spending 1,000 uncommon Armada directives. It just says spend the directives, not like you have to kill armadas or do anything like that. So as long as I have 1,000 directives to spend, which I did, that's good for 4,000 points. So we're going to take that one and finish that up, put some more points on the board, get a bigger lead on my good friend, Mr. Rev Deuce. Because, of course, how could I pass up an opportunity to shame him as well with regards to these Alliance tournament tasks? But I'm looking here now, waves, export credits. None of this stuff looks like something I can do. With the rescaling they recently did, the 10K task now only requires, because this is a 3-star account, it requires me to acquire G3 materials. It's a lot, it's like 3,000 of them. But if you haven't been claiming your Battle Pass rewards, you did the pass, but you didn't claim it, you can at least complete one of those that way, which is what I did earlier today. So it was like, acquire 3,000 ore. And it's like, oh, what's the last milestone on my Battle Pass? Oh, it's 3,500 ore. Perfect. 10K task. Click, complete the Battle Pass, check the box. There's my resources. Otherwise, the only way you're getting it is by buying packs. And that's never a good thing to do. Voltron points out that perhaps you can tier up your fleet command building. And sometimes there are the tasks to acquire 1,500 currency from doing that. The problem is that the lower level of your building doesn't give you 1,500 currency. So there'll be a task, and it'll say acquire 1,500 skill points, fleet commander skill points, right? And every time you level up this building, you get an award. So my building right now, I'm level 30. It's level 30. If I were to take it to level 31, I would get 415. Well, if the task is to get 1,500, well, I got to do 2 levels at 415. That's 830. That's 1250. I'd have to take it all the way up to 34. Basically, I have to do 4 levels in order to get the 1,500 points. Now, if I haven't been leveling up my building regularly, it's a possibility that I could, sandbag it for a couple levels, upgrade my ops, and just sort of leave that building behind, wait for a tournament, and then possibly complete it. Certainly, when you get to the higher levels, if you're talking to the higher 30s, your rewards seem to go up, and when you get into the 40s, it jumps up quite a bit. And obviously, somebody could, just do 2 levels of a building in the 40s and get the 1,500 points. Eventually, I think it's at 50. Yeah, when you get to 50, you start getting 1,750 per event. So if it says, hey, acquire 1,500 points, okay, great. You just level it up once, and there you go. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen until a lot later. So if you're like me and you're still somebody in your 30s, you'd have to, sandbag it, kind of sit back and not upgrade this building for a little while you're catching up on some operation stuff. Sometimes there's some 1,500 point tasks for spending ultra recruits. That's a good one to do. Most people don't spend those regularly. Like this one's actually spend 3,000 on common ones for 8,000 points. That one's a little harder to do. Premium artifacts. Spend 1,000 of those tokens. Do I have any premium artifact tokens? Again, sourcing for this kind of stuff in the low 30s isn't good, but you'd be surprised what you get from events and daily little drips and things, and from time to time, you just might have some artifact tokens. Also, now in the 30s, you can start participating in the formation armadas. And again, there is a task for that as well. It just requires participation. So all you have to do is just, get somebody in your alliance starting one, and then you can jump in, and then you can start working on this stuff. I haven't started doing that yet. Again, this is a third account for me, so I don't put a whole lot of time into it, and I certainly don't want to take away and impede progress too much from players who it's their primary account. So yeah, so we would re-roll something like this. Complete 20 wave defenses. A lot of waves. Now we have this one to replace it with, which is kill 40 mirror universe hostiles. Well, the mirror universe you can't even gain access to until 40. If I was 40, that'd be a decent task. Here we go. Here's one for Swarm. Kill 200 points worth of Swarm hostiles. I mean, it's not ideal. It's only 750 points, but I'll take it. I should have waited. I should have looked, because here's one for 1,500 points. That's my fault. I should have looked and saw all of the refreshes before I claimed that one. So now we just need to go get 200 points worth of Swarm hostiles. If I can punch up 3 levels, I would be killing swarms that are 34s. There are no 34 swarms, so I have to kill 35s to get 10 points apiece, which can be done. We just gotta switch ships around. So the whole point of this exercise is obviously the higher level you are, the more tasks you do have available to you. But that shouldn't discourage you from even participating in the event at all. Because there are still some things that you can find that can help your alliance out. I've seen alliances get promoted or relegated from their spot by just a few thousand points. So even if you can do 3 750 point tasks a day, that's 2,250 points. Over a 5-day event, that's 11,250 points. That could mean the difference, those 11,000 points. That could mean the difference to help out your alliance. I was really straining on the math there for a second, I know. You could feel the smoke. I'm gonna go punch up and hit some 35s. If I go look at the leaderboard right now. Oh, and especially when they also have these other events running too, right? Because even though I can only do those 750 point tasks, and I could only perhaps, even if I only get those 11,000 points that we were talking about, I might also pick up some additional currency and tokens for completing the SMS events that are also running. That might get me a little higher than that. But if we go look at like the leaderboard right now, you know, like 11,000 points is all that's separating 7 and 8 right now, and it's 15,000 between 8 and 9 and 10 and 11. These guys are all very close together for each other. And if we go down here and look at like this alliance here that's about to get relegated, they're about to get kicked out of the expert league and drop a level if the event ended right now by 9,000 points, 8,000 points. So if you think that a little bit that you can do doesn't matter, it really does. And then when you also get the opportunity to do some of these other events, and again, maybe you find some other tasks too. But now that they also have the SMSs, I'm sorry, I know this takes forever to load screens. We have this Alliance Tournament Challenge. This is another alliance milestone for completing tasks. Not only do you get depot tokens for your trouble, but you also get these stratagema tokens. Does this heroic one also give? And then there's been daily heroic events as well. These events give additional tournament points, which help your team score, and give you a little bit of extra store currency too. So there's an extra 3,000 points a day that you can get. There's an extra 15,000. Now, some of these events are a little harder to do depending on your ops level. Like for me, defeating wave defenses, 3,000 points. That'd be 3 waves getting finished all the way. Probably not the easiest thing to do for lower level players. You'd probably have to run 5, 6, 7 of these things, getting through 4 or 5 levels a time to complete this. It's a lot of starts. But some of the other tasks are very easy, like, kill a bunch of hostiles or mine a bunch of resources. Can I see what yesterday's was? What was yesterday's? Is it this one, the hostile pursuit? Yeah, yesterday's was a hostile hunt. Kill hostiles. Get 3,400 points. So if I can kill hostiles in this range, 37 to 40, I mean, that's 25 hostiles. That's not bad. That's doing your dailies. So that right there is an extra couple thousand points. And if everybody, now suddenly you're not getting 11,000, you're getting 14,000, 17,000, 20,000 points. And helping out your alliance. And if you see people putting up scores less than that, shame. 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 Because it means they're not even doing their dailies. Because they should be getting points. People have if your only score, the only point you have on the board is one 750 point task, and that's it, it means you didn't do your dailies either. Because you would have gotten 3,000 points for doing something else.